What's up, guys? Mingo-Dee here. And on today's prime time, we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna go live. Well, the live replay that is. Since this is the live replay, that means this video will be a lot longer than normal. So with that being said, feel free to check out the timeline in the description below. With all that being said, do you like the Venom 2 trailer? Have you heard all the weird stories about Joss Wheaton? And my top recommendations of what to watch. This is Primetime Live Replay Edition.
Talk nerdy to me. Get nerdy with me.
We are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Primetime Live. I'm your host, Mingo-Dee.
I'm your boy, Snake.
And I, of course, am your boy, the Hammer.
All right, guys. So before we get into it, just a little bit of ground rules. No, it's not really ground. What did you say?
Karen's watching. She said hi.
Karen, oh, hey,
Robinson.
All right, so let's get some things across. Okay, guys. So we're gonna have 3 sections. We're gonna and in the 3 sections, if you have questions about those sections or anything, make sure you put a question mark on your question, of course, and definitely Snake or Hammer will see that question. They will redirect that question to me, and then I will respond in a timely manner in that section. Now, when I move on to a new section, you can't ask me a question about a previous section because I've kind of moved on. But with that being said, let's move on. Let's talk about that trailer. You know that trailer we want to talk about. We want to talk about, Let There Be Light. Nope, that's the Bible. Let There Be Dark. Nope, that's like when I cut off lights in my house. Let There Be Grass. Nope, that's something else. Let There Be Carnage. There it is. That's the one. We're going to talk about that Venom 2 trailer. So I'm going to start off by talking about exactly how I love the theme of it. They're still keeping it very, very comic book, in my opinion. It's very campy, very, very. They had Venom just, he's like cooking and knocking over stuff and talking and singing, and how Eddie Brock was just like, just wasn't really feeling it. And I love that very, that very comic book slash campy, old school. That gave me very old school superhero movie vibes. The stuff where where the first Spider-Man movie came out, which is classic Sony. So I loved it. I thought it was great, and just that one part. Then as it kept going, I loved how it kept building up. You actually got to see Cletus Cassidy, and you got to see they cut his hair, which I was excited about. They cut his hair. That wig they had him in the first movie was horrible. So they cut his hair. He seems like he has a new look, and seems like Woody Harrelson is a little bit more controlled in how he wants the Cletus / Carnage villain to be. In the first movie, it seemed like he was just a little too like psychotic, it gave me a Joker feel. In this trailer, even though it wasn't that much, it seems like he was more, like a serial killer, which that's what, if you read the comics, that's what Carnage is, more serial killer vibes. And he was very, very methodical, very controlled. Now, in the trailer, we know he becomes Carnage, but we didn't see how he became Carnage. And that was something that I noticed when I rewatched it a couple of times, that he seems like, it seemed like they're either the trailers playing tricks on you, which they might, because it's trailers, what they do. But it seems like they're inferring that he might have already got the Carnage symbiote a long time ago. And there was a scene, if you haven't watched the trailer, go watch it, but I'm gonna spoil it for you. So there was a scene where he was getting a lethal injection, and the Carnage symbiote came out. It seemed like he was confused. I could be, reaching here. I could have, misread because the scenes went by really fast. But it seems like Cassidy didn't really know what was going on. That, like I said, it could be. I could be reaching here. He could always have known that Carnage was in him because the whole time he's seems like he's writing a letter, and the letters that he's writing, I'm assuming he's writing to Eddie. So
He did. That's already confirmed in the trailer.
okay, boom. So he's writing the letters to Eddie. So if that's the case, then they could be going with the whole fact that he already knows he has Carnage, and maybe Carnage has already been a part of him. Maybe they did it in between movies where, you know, just like in the comic books, he the symbiote Venom spawned out Carnage somewhere in between. They're just going to give us that. I'm not sure. Snake.
Gotta raise my hand. So about that, like you said before, I think the trailer is you know how they mix and match scenes.
Yeah.
Like the whole him getting on the deathbed thing, getting the lethal injection and stuff. His hair's cut. Like at the end of the Venom, Eddie Brock went to see him, and when he had his hair long. So that, and then in the trailer, that's where he got infatuated with Eddie. I think that they're going to play that at the beginning. I think that is when he gets the piece of it mixed in with him, because I think that's the only way that the Carnage would have been able to get inside him. Like, so I think, because that's the only time the Venom actually came through, unless they're going with a whole nother spin of how he gets his powers. But from what they're saying, that they're mixing two different storylines, getting aspects. Like in the comics, he got his powers because Eddie Brock was in the cell with him. When the Venom came to break Eddie Brock out, like Cletus cut his arm, and a piece of the symbiote from Venom was near and got inside of his blood. So they didn't show that in the trailer, but that might be how in that little interaction between them at that point. And then later on, like, you know, they cut his hair because it's like years later type thing. But while he's sitting at the table eating the breakfast that Venom made for him, there's a card on the table, and it's the same card that he was writing on whenever he did the little nod to Spider-Man where he killed the spider on the table. It's the same as that card. So
yeah. And speaking of Spider-Man, I'm glad you said that. Let's talk about some of the Venom Easter eggs or that Sony's trying to create with their whole Sonyverse. Can we say Sonyverse? Sony multiverse, whatever. I mean, that's what it is. It's Sonyverse. Sony multi Marvelverse, Spider-Verse, Sonyverse.
No.
That's what it is.
It's fair.
No, it's the MCU, and that's all there is.
But that's not. We don't know yet because we don't know.
They're trying.
They're trying, but there's hurdles.
They're trying, and they actually even admitted it in the thing that they're trying, because even on the Daily Bugle paper that the detective was reading, they actually had mentioned the Avengers on it.
Yeah, it had Avengers on the paper. And then, of course, you know, the Morbius movie, we'll talk about that when they reveal another trailer, but the Morbius movie from, they had Murderer for Spider-Man and other things like that. So apparently all this is going on. The running theory, and I'm sure Snake's seen this theory, the same theory, which is that Sony is going to do the live action Spider-Verse that's going to somehow pull all the other stuff together. You know what I'm saying? In other words, look at it this way. This is from a actual real life money Sony Disney perspective, from my opinion. Because of the situation that happened with Spider-Man, Disney is like, they didn't know they did that little transaction, the little deal, and Disney's like, well, we need to see more. We want to work with you more. We want to add more and keep you as a business partner, as, you know, family, but we need to see more. So this is Sony's way of saying, okay, we're going to give you the Spider-Verse. We're going to give you this and this and this. We're going to show you what we could do with Tom Holland, Spider-Man, and all this other stuff, and Venom and all this stuff. And you're going to love it so much that you're going to put characters and everything in here. And Disney's like, we'll see. So that's my opinion on it. I think that's what I think is happening. I think they're like it's kind of like, 90-day probation at a job. Like, I don't know. You can't work that forklift until 90 days are over, but you could work that lawnmower over there. I don't know how those jobs work, but that I'm a nerd. I type. I don't got my glasses on, can't see stuff like that. That's what I do. But yeah, so that's my running theory on it. So like I said, guys out there, if y'all have any questions or comments, make sure you give it to Snake or give it to Hammer, so they will let me know, and then we'll discuss it at the end. Carnage's look. So I'm gonna actually let you guys talk about that. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot to say on it, but I want to know my boys think about Carnage's look. 'Cause I think that's the big thing. What y'all think about that?
I want to know what you think first. You said you got a lot to talk about it. I want to know.
Oh, but I want to know from y'all. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, so I think what I like about it is that I paused it, how they're really getting the thing down with Carnage and all of the swords and axes and things that he made. 'Cause that's always classic Carnage. One thing that separated him from all the other symbiotes is that he always did that. He didn't really care about using his tentacles to wrap around people and stuff. He was like, I'm going to make blades and things, and I'm just going to chop everything and just chop and slice and kill, because that's what he does. He's part of Cassie. So I love that they had that. Now, I know that was just the first look. The only thing I didn't like is that it didn't look, in the comics, he had like some real crazy like scythe type blades and like pitchforks. It was like crazy looking. This one looked like just small little saw blades and stuff. I don't know. Like I said, it was just a small picture render or whatever. And then I don't know. I think this is just my opinion on how they're doing all of the symbiotes in general. But I feel like Carnage's mouth should be more like how, if you ever seen that Spawn movie and those little gray things. That's just me, because I think Carnage should be at least a little, because that to me screams, in my opinion, psychotic. But other than that, I love the look. I love how it looked or whatever, for what they gave us and everything. So I just can't wait to hear how he sounds and see if he's and then see him fight. So I'm liking what I see so far. So go with that. Anyone of you guys? Like about it? Not like that?
I mean, first of all, shout out Sony for casting Woody Harrelson. I think he's gonna pull off the whole psychotic thing. I just feel that way. I like Woody Harrelson, so. But as far as the look of Carnage, I pretty much agree with what you said. Like, it was, for the most part, it was good. It was believable. I instantly recognized, who it was. I didn't have to be like, well, what is that? What is that? I knew it was Carnage. I do hope that maybe, because it's just a trailer, so I do hope that they will kind of add in, like you said, the big scythe looking things that he would turn himself into. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do hope that happens, because that it like embodies the whole character. And I feel like if you're going to try to stick to the comic, but if you're going to try to have the nods to the comic, I think that needs to be in there. Like, I need that Carnage. And from the cartoon aspect of it, the voice does have to be right. And I hope they don't screw it up. Like, Carnage can't sound, he can't sound like a punk. And it can't be, it can't be some weird off voice, because then it'll ruin the character. So, but as a whole, I was okay with Carnage. Like I said, I could recognize who he was without, having to really look at like, what is that? It was Carnage. And I can appreciate the detail they put into it so far in the trailer. Gotta wait to the movie, but in the trailer so far, it's thumbs up.
Snake. What you got?
I like the character and what they did with it. I mean, right now you can't really tell exactly, like, because of the scenes that went by so fast, you can't really tell how they're doing it. But it did look like he had all the knives and stuff like that. So hopefully they keep it all like that. I mean, he was a freaking psychopath, so I mean that's why he had all, and everything he made was like sharp and just death. I liked how they introduced him in the trailer. That was dope. So, and then they also said that his voice, Woody Harrelson is going to do the voice, and it's just to be an altered. It's going to be his voice, but altered, just like they did Venom. Venom's voice is Eddie Brock's voice, just as an altered.
As long as it's good. I mean, it should be in good hands with Woody Harrelson. Like I said, Woody, that dude's been around a long time, so he, I think it's in safe hands.
They did the Venom's voice was kind of spot on. From the animated adventures that they did, and like hadn't been that many Venom voices so they can kind of go off of it. I mean, I think it'd be better than the last Spider-Man one that they did. You know what I'm saying?
Let's not even talk about that.
The last Spider-Man, what?
Spider-Man 3?
Spider-Man 3. Like the Tobey Maguire.
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't talk. That's why I had to,
now, right?
That's why I had to ask you, like, what are you talking about? Because I just
that was just anyway.
It was a waste of two villains. It was a waste of two villains is what it was.
What do y'all think about his girlfriend being it?
Ooh, I forgot all about that. Shriek, right? Yeah.
Shriek's
I like it, but at the same time, I'm wondering, will they have enough time? Because with certain type of origin like stories, I mean, it was 3 characters. I mean, so they should be all right with dealing with 3 characters. But I just don't want her to get lost in all of the, they so focused on Carnage or whatever, which it should be. It's about him, and then but there to where she gets left behind, unless she's some type of focus to shift to a future movie or maybe something that goes on. So
I don't know. I think that they're going to incorporate her, like just to have something for Carnage type, that Carnage relationship thing. But at the same time, like I said earlier, they are merging and getting Spider-Man to like that world to merge in. Like that's why they're moving closer to basically Venom is in New York now. So and that's where the Daily Bugle and everything like that. So it's gonna easily be able to tie in. Now which universe is the question, because and then Morbius was supposed to come out before Venom, but now it's going to be coming after. And in the Morbius, the whole thing was their little hint thing that they had was that they're thinking that Morbius would be in the Tobey Maguire universe because of the picture of the murderer on the back of it. Because that with him with the picture in the back and it says murderer, that was the Tobey Maguire silhouette and suit and everything like that. So whether they're just saying that it's just an old suit, there's a lot of ways that they can explain it, but it also leads, if they keep going with it, then it also leads them down the road later on of doing a Spider-Verse movie. So I don't know exactly which line they're going to go with, but there are a lot of rumors flying around that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are wanting to reprise their roles.
Yeah, wanted to, and then Andrew Garfield said he hadn't received any phone calls, but that could be just him kind of blowing smoke.
There's so there's so many different ways. Like there's so many different things out there in the world that you don't know which one to follow. Like, I mean, I saw something the other day. It's off topic, but about Wolverine. Hugh Jackman is actually wanting a script before he actually accepts the come back to the Wolverine.
Please do it one more time.
And then there's some other things about it with that Ryan Reynolds is in talks with them to get him to come back. So there's a whole lot of things like
That's
don't know if
believable.
it's true. Don't know if it's true.
Yeah, now that is
probably
believable.
That's probably the most believable rumor there is with Hugh Jackman and.
Oh no, I mean
they have been at it for
them talking. That is fact. They do. But whether it's true that he's trying to get him to come back and he's thinking about it is another story.
True.
Yeah, that's one thing you can say about this pandemic is that has swayed a lot of stuff. Like I think, for example, since everything done changed and things are going digital to and not in theaters that much, it's starting to make a lot of actors start to say, hey, maybe I should do this more. Maybe a Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, maybe they're more ready to say, hey, I want to do this Spider-Verse. Maybe Disney is saying, you know what, we'll work with you more, Sony. Who knows? If any of that, Hugh Jackman, all of that, I'm down for it. Speaking of Ryan Reynolds, should Venom, it should be rated R. I think so. Carnage is in it. Why not? It should. I need to see blood. I need to see. It's Carnage. Come on. I mean, what y'all think?
To embody what Carnage is, it 100% needs to be rated R. Like, it would make Carnage soft if this movie is rated PG-13. Period. Like, I'm trying to think what movie that they went rated R on, and I was like, thank you. I need like Mortal Kombat level blood if we're gonna do Carnage. Plain and simple. You got away with it with Venom because it was just good acting and it was just exciting to see a Venom movie. But if you're introducing Carnage, I need Carnage. I need, to feel like this dude he's a psychopath and he's like hacking people up with these things. I need to see all that. So yes, it does need to be rated R, in my opinion.
I agree. Like I agree with the rated R. And I do hope more so. I do hope that they bring the whole Spider-Man into the fold, like, because like they still haven't connected that Venom Spider-Man. Like Venom got his whole look from Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man was supposed to be the first host before Eddie Brock. So, and technically he does not have the Venom, like the actual suit like Venom, originally. Like he don't have the symbol and everything like that. Right. It's just a black silhouette right now. So there's still that chance that, Peter might get it for a time being, So
I'm down with that.
And then, Venom and I'm not counting Carnage, but at least Venom can get the whole Spider-Man type thing going, let's be honest, like anybody can truly learn how to be like Spider-Man and climb walls. You just got to stick to it. So
stupid.
Oh my God. That was slick. That was really slick.
Right on in there, boy.
That was slick.
I was ready for it, but
I was not. I did not know. I was like, wait, what happened?
Slid it right on in there. All I'm gonna say, as far as like the Spider-Verse, I'm down with the Spider-Verse because if they begin to do that and they do it correctly, that means I get Miles Morales in a movie at some point, which that's dope. Because if you're gonna step into the Spider-Verse, that there's a lot of them, and Miles Morales needs to happen. But Sony needs to make sure that they take notes. Understand that you screwed this up once with having too many people involved in a movie. We just said Spider-Man 3. There's a waste of 2 villains in the same movie, and don't get so caught up trying to do this that you waste good characters. Like, I would rather somebody be in there for a cameo and lead up to a different movie than you try to involve them in the movie and it be too much and then it's just a waste of character.
They can do it. It is possible. I mean,
we know it's possible. Look at the damn Avengers.
Proves it. Avengers, everything proves that you can handle it. It's just the way you go about it. And they didn't do it the right way.
Well, and the thing with the Avengers too, you got to think everybody except for you can say that everybody except for Hawkeye has an origin story, and he kind of got his told in the Avengers movie in a way. Like they kind of dove deep into his reason for being with his kids and his wife and whatnot. But and I say that because we're fixing to get the Black Widow movie, so that kind of is her origin story. It's late, but we're getting the origin story. But everybody else had some kind of like singular movie before they had collective Avengers. That thing that kind of bothers me, you know, like mainly when like everybody talking about it's late, yeah, she died and everything. Yeah, but it's an origin story. Like it's back before she died, so there's not really a link to it. Like it's behind, it's behind. Like understandable, and I think it's necessary. I get what they talk. I get the, you know, they're like, oh, you should have done this before she died. You know, like whenever they were trying to get everybody else's. But at the same time, we still don't know if she's truly gone. Like, you can't rule her out. Like, it's the MCU, and you can't rule Iron Man out. You can't. True. I mean, people come back. True. Yeah. Like,
and the only difference is that people just
came back.
Yeah.
So sorry.
No, you're good. No, the only difference is that people have contracts. So it's just that if they're not coming back right now, it could just be the whole thing of, hey man, I love playing Iron Man, but I'm kind of like tired right now, so I'm just gonna take a break, go to the island a little bit, drink a drink, you know what I'm saying, and do this one movie, you know what I'm saying, where I get to just cuss all the time because I can't cuss on Disney. Then I'm gonna come back in about 4 years, and then I'll do Iron Man. You know, something like that. That's usually, sometimes that's how that stuff happens, but they don't want it, so they just take a break and whatever. I mean, you hear all the stuff about Chris Evans and all that kind of stuff like that. I mean, look, like you said, Tobey Maguire and them thinking about coming back. And, you know, he was talking about he's done with Spider-Man.
Yeah, he said he couldn't.
Remember that whole thing? I'll never go back to Spider-Man.
Well, he had a whole deal about like not being able to. He was kind of having a Hugh Jackman thing where he's like, it takes a lot to get it.
But now he's coming back.
Yeah, I didn't like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man.
Did you really not?
I did not.
Why?
The Andrew Garfield fan, huh?
Andrew Garfield was garbage.
Andrew Garfield got in there, I liked Andrew Garfield as like, but then
complete trash.
Who?
Andrew Garfield sucked.
He portrayed Spider-Man.
No, he did not.
How?
He was complete trash. His acting was garbage. Everything about him was garbage. I did not believe that Spider-Man. I believe Tobey Maguire. I believe Tom. I believe Tobey, the first movie. The second movie. The first and the second. The third one was trash.
No, second and third trash.
No, the second movie was fine. The third movie was garbage.
No.
The first movie was the best one. The second one was all right. The third one was garbage.
See, thank you, Karen. Thank you. Thank you.
So real quick. So since we're at the end right now, we'll go ahead and take these questions and see what these people have to say about y'all two's conversation. What do y'all have as far as
above all though? Like above the newest Spider-Man, he's the best Spider-Man.
Yes, we can agree on that. I can agree with you 100% on that.
Like he pinpoints that.
Yes, like, he is Peter Parker 100%. So. I agree with you on the end of what you said. Yes, we can agree.
His name will come to me pretty soon, but
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Yes, he is Spider-Man. Like that, hands down. Like he hit that on the nail. Like
yes,
like he does all his own stunts and flips and everything. Like he got the lingo to talk down. Like he's
Peter Parker, man. He 100% is Peter Parker. I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, the other Tom Maguire said.
Andrew Garfield sucked. He's trash. Trash. He was cold right now. I guarantee you, he would be the least liked Spider-Man. He would be the
You're
least
like,
maybe we'll put that on our Facebook page and do a poll.
I'm down.
You guys
I'm down to put a
decide,
bet on that because I don't know. I don't know anybody besides.
No. Let's not do
likes
bets.
Andrew
We're just
Garfield
gonna
as
do polls. We're gonna keep it friendly. We're not gonna do bets.
Let's go.
You say do a shot. What is if you lose, you take 2 shots.
We're gonna take a shot.
All right. All right, guys. So
that's what we're gonna take a shot of. I don't even know what that is, but it might be something.
Let's not. We're gonna switch. We're gonna switch gears, guys. So I mean, if anybody, Karen, anybody got any questions? Talk about Carnage. Anything you want to tell us about Carnage, the movie? Anything you want to ask us about Spider-Man? Do you agree that Tobey Maguire is or isn't? Do you agree that Andrew Garfield is or isn't?
She said she didn't like either of the other two. She just likes Tom Holland. That's what she just said.
Okay.
Which is fair.
I mean, yeah, there you go. No, it's fair. It's fair.
We can all agree on that.
Yes.
It's fair. All right. Yeah. And real quick, if they brought back, they did a Gwen Stacy, would you want? Shout out to Emma Stone for Corella. By the way, she's really dope. We'll talk about that later. But do you think they should bring her back for Gwen Stacy, since she did Gwen Stacy in Andrew Garfield's movie, or not really? They should get somebody else.
Somebody else.
I mean, I know she was kind of like forgettable, but I know she's the only Gwen Stacy we've had. Period. So I thought maybe
she did a good job. I'll say that for where she was in that, like with that movie, like where they had Gwen Stacy in that, like she did okay. But the Gwen Stacy, like for I hope you're talking about the
Spider-Gwen. Yeah.
She came from a whole nother universe. So I think
that's
it should be another person.
Another character.
And Karen says she's a new person too. So
yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay, cool. All right, well, with that being said, guys, that is so, you know what I'm saying, if you got anything else, make sure you let us know down here. We're gonna shift gears and we're gonna talk about something not so great. We're gonna talk about the whole Joss Whedon and his I'm gonna say infidelities. That don't even sound right. What is it? Inconsistencies, his bad behavior, him being the bad boy, and I'm not talking about P. Diddy.
Okay. See what you did.
I tried to do something there.
Take that.
So Gal Gadot came out, and she said that Joss Whedon threatened to end her career. She didn't go into any specifics, but she said it was some type of conversation that went on to where he told her that he will end her career. And apparently she got it handled. I think she went to the Warner directors right then and they handled that situation, but she just responded. And she is among the, I don't know what, 7 or 8, it might be more, people who have come out since Ray Fisher and came out and then have discussed their distaste for Joss Whedon and his practices as a director and as a producer. It's crazy. I don't know. I just don't like.
What is he doing? Like, cause this is like, I don't understand.
Well,
like, what did he come on to her? Like, she turned down something. Now he's like, "I'll ruin your career."
From what I read,
I don't know what he did.
From what I read, it was just I guess they got into it about some stuff. Maybe they didn't agree on something. He threatened to end her career. Like he basically told her he would ruin her, and a whole lot of stuff. And like Mingo was saying, it's not the first time. Apparently, this goes back to even when he was shooting Marvel movies. They complained over there. So
he's apparently he's been a bully, like a bully, so let's take it. So after Ray Fisher said what he said, then they started going, you can go back to his timeline and they actually have this on online, so you can actually see all the stuff that he's done, which is insane. So apparently during the Buffy and Angel franchise, he started feeling himself, and he started. They didn't say anything about Firefly, which is so I'm not sure if anybody's gonna come out with that. But he was just a bully. He would the girl who played what's her name? The dark hair that was the rival for Buffy and in high school, Cordelia. The girl who played Cordelia or whatever, she has some type of condition or whatever to where I can't remember what the condition is. I don't want to say it's ADHD. It's some type of condition to where it allows her to where she can't be as productive on set all the time. And Joss Whedon just really didn't care. So he was just like, I don't care. You're gonna do it this way, whatever. And he wasn't very, very, respectful for her condition. And at first it was understandable because he didn't know, but once he knew, he still didn't care, and he still expected her to perform at the highest level, even though she could not, and he just didn't care. And apparently that's when she came out and she expressed her concern, and she told how just bad and how bullied he was. And then apparently Sarah Michelle Gellar and another actress, I think the one who played Willow, they commented and said that is true, that he was like that where he did those types of things, and he was just that type of guy. James Masterson, the guy who played Spike with the blonde hair, it's yellow. What am I saying? Blonde hair. The other vampire, he said that his character was just his character was written to just be a badass bad guy. That's it. He was just supposed to be bad. He wasn't supposed to do it. He just supposed to, that was what his character intended. But just like a lot of times, the fans will dictate what they want their character to be. Apparently they liked how seductive he was as a villain, to where it made fans like, crush over him and, start doing ships. Like they shipped him with Buffy and all this and all that. And they wanted it so bad that, the other directors and producers was like, write this in. Josh was so mad that he walked the old dude in the corner. Me personally, I probably would have punched the guy, but I understand why he didn't. He put him in the corner. He was like, "You dead, kid. Like you're not never gonna work in this town again," because he was so mad that he had to change how he was written. And it was like, and the dude who played Spike was like, "Man, I didn't, okay. I mean, just whatever you want the show to be," but it wasn't up to Josh at the time. It was up to WB or UPN. Huh?
You talking about Piccolo? I guess you don't get that reference.
I got it, but I don't want to talk about it because I see this guy's face. Don't do it. This guy's face. Don't do it. That's all.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that movie, people. We don't talk about that movie. But that happened. That was a thing.
No, it was not. It was a dream. Move on.
It was. I mean, Spike did play Piccolo, so
don't care.
I mean, but you got to understand, dude was just trying to make some money. I mean, hey, if it was me, I probably would have done it. I hate it, but I would have been like, man, I got my check though. I mean, that's understandable. But I guess you can't always say no. You get auditions, you can't always say no. I guess I don't know.
Yes, you can.
Maybe you can't.
No.
Yes, you can.
You can say no. This is terrible. It doesn't follow different shit. I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
Whatever. About this.
Okay, but and then moving forward, apparently, in the Marvel movies, people, it wasn't necessarily that he did anything bad to the people in Marvel, but it was more so the fact that in the Marvel movies he changed. For some reason he made the women, more so Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, seem very they said that he wrote it very misogynistic, and he made her seem like she needed a man to do things. And number one, that's never Black Widow. Black Widow's always been independent. And number two, he made it seem like she had to cater to Bruce Banner. And when I went back and thought about it, it kind of looked like that a little bit, to where
you can tell the change. You can see when you after you say that, you sit and think back to how she changed. Like you can see it.
You can see when the Russos took over.
That did.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it was different.
She changed.
It definitely was different, and it's disappointing, honestly, because again, he helped start like the MCU. He helped start like one of the biggest. Like it's still ongoing. I can't say it like it's over, but it's like he helped start one of the biggest franchises worth of movies ever. Like, you know, Avatar keeps hopping back up there selling out, you know, movie theaters as far as individual movies, but what if we had ever that has had this many movies and they all tied together ever in history? Yeah. Like, you're part of one of the greatest things of all time, and you were acting like an ass the entire time you were doing it. Why? Like,
yeah. Yeah, so and that's just it's crazy because it's like he's a very talented dude. I mean, he's very talented. I love what he did with Buffy. I love what he did with the first Avengers movie. You know, I love it. I love what he did with a lot of stuff that he's made and done. But you know, it's just one of those power trips for some people. And I mean, it's one of those things to where it's like when I heard somebody say this, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself turn to the villain or something like that. It's some phrase that's like that. And I think that's what happened to him. I think when he was on top of the world, he should have probably stopped for a while, maybe took a break, but I think that because everybody wanted him so much for the last, 5 to 7 years, he just started just feeling himself and just going insane, and not necessarily really insane, but just he went crazy with power. And a part of that also, his wife came out and pretty much said this was a while back, that allegations of him cheating and I don't know if they went to have filed for a divorce or not. I haven't kept up with it, but he pretty much wrote her letters and stuff saying that, he was like he said that he was like and I'm not quoting it directly, but he was like a kid at a candy store. He was just sitting there and he was like the power. He said it was like a Greek myth. He was sitting there like a powerful Greek god, and all of these women that was like that needed his attention, that was at his feet, and he was like, he can have them. He could take them. And it was like, not, and whether it was willingly or not, I don't know. I'm assuming it was, but because he had he had affairs and stuff like that. But, yeah. And then but the big thing that most of that spanned across all of those shows and movies and stuff, just the fact of how much of an ass he was. He was just a bully. He just cared about what he wanted, and Jason Momoa said that. Ray Fisher, Gal Gadot. Henry Cavill, he didn't say that. So I'm wondering maybe because he just Henry Cavill. I mean, Henry Cavill
bust that ass right quick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you know what? I mean, what I thought about it, though, I mean, Jason Momoa is a big dude, Jason Momoa, but he comes off as like a kid. He's like very friendly and cool. Yeah. I'm not saying that he can't fight and beat nobody up, because he probably does. I'm probably sure he's beat up a lot of people in his lifetime. But Henry Cavill, apparently, people say that he has this stoic presence to where it's like you say a joke, but you don't know. Did I make him mad? Yeah. Is he mad? I don't know. So maybe Joss didn't want to get Superman thrown into a wall for real, Because listen, I don't care anybody say. You go back to the best way I remember how Henry Cavill wasn't Superman. You go to Mission Impossible when he's fighting Tom Cruise, and I mean that choreography. You see how big he was, and I was like. Yeah, he fight like that for real. Hey, he probably was with. He was with. Tom Cruise. Yeah,
I don't know about for real. I mean,
at least his swings, you could tell he's probably talking with the choreographer, and they was like, "Oh, yeah, I like that. Do that." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And it's like, "Oh, I like how you swing like that. Do that." And it was part of his. It's kind of like if you go in there and you do your kicks, the choreographer might be like, "Oh, I like that. Do that again. We're gonna put that in the movie." And then somebody sees it and they're like, "He kicks like that for real." Yep. Don't ever, he'll kick you like that in real life. It's kind of like that. That's the way I saw it. So I think Joss Whedon didn't want to get thrown into a wall. I don't know.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know, but unless just Henry just hasn't came out and said anything, or he just doesn't want to right now, or he's just not worried about it because it wasn't anything that big to him, because he's probably like, whatever, he's a dick. I don't got time for it. Whatever.
It could have been.
I'm a big time star, so
it wasn't something that he didn't feel like he couldn't handle. He probably felt like I handle it. He, again, it could be like he didn't talk shit to me like that, because if he'd have talked to me like that, it would have been a problem. And you're right about Jason Momoa. He very, very much so gives off that vibe, like the surfer. Like he does. He does, man. He gives off that vibe. Not that he's not cool, man. I like Jason Momoa. He's cool, but he's very, very, very calm. Like I can see Jason Momoa like to a point where he's like, you know what, I'm gonna walk away before I get pissed off, and because I don't feel like dealing with this, so he just leave and just say the hell with it, and I go find me something else to do in my trailer. You know, Henry Cavill, he's so calm that, like you said, you know, Joss Whedon could have been sitting there talking shit, and Henry Cavill just sitting there staring at him like, you just wait for you to say one wrong thing to me.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if Michael's watching right now.
Oh,
Michael, you watching? There's 3 people watching. Hey, if you watching right now, like comment, like I know Karen might still be watching. Comment, push that like button, but comment, let me know you in here. That way I can shout you out. But if Michael in here, he actually met Jason Momoa like at the Comic Con. That was a funny story.
Yeah, I heard this story.
That was hilarious.
We might even get Michael on here to actually let him like. I mean, we could tell the story. We might, but I think you will love it if Michael like told his version of the story. You might have, because when I heard him say it, the first time I heard him say it, I was like, oh my God, it's the best.
Yep.
Yeah, so basically when he went to meet to do like a photo op with Jason Momoa, and as soon as he got in there, like it was like a quick thing. Like he was like, "What a big man!" And he's like, "Bow!" Right on the, just smacked him right on his ass, and like he like it's in the picture too. It's like his face was like, "Oh my God."
You didn't know what to do. That's so funny.
But it also made the picture better too, which is cool.
Like
that's dope.
The fact that he just like out of nowhere just smacked his ass, like his wife was jealous because Jason Momoa smacked his ass. Like
that's hilarious.
That sounds about right.
That was funny. Like I don't even Amanda or Michael's watching. I wish I could see like click on the button and see exactly who's watching.
Exactly who's watching. Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah, Facebook fix that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much
Yeah, Karen said he's known for doing that. I guess Michael didn't know when he went in there.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for Joss Whedon. It's a sad thing when you see like producers and people of that caliber go through things like that. You know,
yeah,
I don't wish it will on the guy, but I mean, like if he continues that, y'all don't work with him. You know what I mean?
He's gonna put himself out of work is what he's gonna do, and it's really unfortunate because, like you said, he's very, very talented. But you can't just because you're talented, and you get to act like an ass to people. Like you just can't. Like you, and that, I'm sure that happens quite a bit in Hollywood. That people just get besides themselves, you know, get to feeling themselves just a little bit too much, and you know, it makes them difficult to work with. Nobody wants to really waste the time. You know, they'd rather take a lesser role for lesser money than to deal with this dude because they don't want to be in the middle of scandal or anything else, and they just don't want to be in that kind of stressful environment. Like why?
Yeah.
Why would you want to be in that kind of stressful environment? I have no reason to. Like I get paid millions of dollars doing whatever. I can go play a simple role and spend 20 minutes in a movie and get paid, you know, $2 million, or I can come here and get 10, but I got to deal with months and months and months of stress and anguish because you're an asshole and you're a bully. Like, established actors ain't gonna be hearing that. Now, the ones that what they call starving actors, they might try to deal with it a little bit, just because they need money. But anybody established,
nah.
They ain't hearing none of it.
Well, all right, guys, we're gonna shift gears, and I'm gonna do one more segment before we, you know, see if you guys got any more questions you want to ask. I'm gonna talk about
message. I'm replying in the thing right now.
Okay. Dope. Y'all keep that up. We love the engagement.
He was drunk watching us before bed. Oh my God.
So
I appreciate that.
Let's talk about some shows to watch. I got 2 for you guys. And then I'll leave it for my boys if they got anything for you to watch. I got 2. I got Hammer actually watching one of the shows, the Shadow and Bone. I watched a few episodes myself. I haven't finished it. I'm actually going to try to finish it this week. It's really good. It's based off of a book series, and it has a lot of lore. It has a lot of like different magical elements, but it's not like Harry Potter. It's very dark, and it has some horror aspects. It's really good. It has. It's taken from two of the books. I can't remember the name of the books at the moment. It's taken from. I know one is the actual Shadow and Bone book, and the other one is dealing with the thieves, the thieves that you see in there in the show. But they've combined them and they've actually changed it up a little bit. But the changes in the show, at least based off what I know, people who read the books, they said that's pretty good and they love it. So it's not bad. The first season is already done. It's on Netflix. You can go find it. Hour-long episodes. I think it's 8.
Yeah, it's just 8 episodes, so it's really
8. Okay. Yeah, but it has I'm trying to remember the magic classes so I can try to remember. It's
basically the best way to describe it. The very best way to describe it is that it's like Avatar and Harry Potter had a baby. That's the best way to describe the movie. Like that, or the episodes. Like, because you got airbenders, you got firebenders, you got waterbenders. Like then they added extra benders like light, and so and then they got the menders and healers and stuff like that. So that it's almost like Push too. The movie Push that came out a while back, like they had special people. So, but it's a dope series. Like me and my wife finished the whole series, so it's really good. I can't wait for the second season now.
Yeah, and the actors are pretty good too. The actors they did a really good job. Really good job. Another one, which is I just saw the trailer and it looks good. It's based off of like the same dude who did the Sin City comics and stuff like that. It's Jupiter Legacy, and apparently people apparently from what I've seen the rating I've seen at least on Netflix and some of the stuff I saw on Google, people like it. It looks good. It has what's that dude name? I can't remember his name. He's been on a lot of like he's normally on like a lot of comedies. Me personally, what I've seen him on, I haven't really seen him on anything serious, but from what I've seen on here, it looks pretty good. So Jupiter Legacy, it's about superheroes. The golden age of superheroes. They like the first superheroes that came in, but there's the kicker. I'm gonna give this a little spoiler away. It's not too much of a spoiler. It's actually on the first episode or two from what the highlights that I saw. You guys can go look this up on YouTube and find it. They go explore, find powers, boom, and then superheroes are born, and then they have kids, and it's about them and their kids and the golden age of superheroes and their kids and all, and pretty much the story of what happens with them and what's going on with them, the trials, tribulations, and all those things like that. Who they're fighting, why they're not fighting, who has powers, who doesn't have powers, who's the villain, who's not villain. So is that I think it's. I'm not sure if it's fully complete. It might be fully binge. It's Netflix. It should be all episodes should be there, right? I mean, I don't think it's not like Amazon Prime where they give you like one episode a week or something like that. So,
yeah.
So it should all be there. So
I want Invincible. I want the next episode.
It's not 8 episodes.
I'm waiting on all these episodes. Like, you don't understand how many shows me and my wife watch. Like Invisible, like I can't even name them all. I had to go to the thing just to name them all.
See, Snake's a binger, where somebody else might not be a binger. So I can see what Netflix and Amazon Prime is going for.
I can't even consider us bingers. We just like when we get home, the shows we watch, like we watch a show at night. Like that's not even binging.
Well, I mean, like, don't you want it if it was the next episode was there and
yes, I would watch it.
Would you watch it or would you?
Right now.
See,
right
that's
now.
what we're talking right now.
The definition.
Don't you judge me. Don't you judge me, sir? That's not nice. You're laughing.
No, I'm just that's just no. I'm a half binger. It depends. Like if certain things I'll binge. Certain things I don't mind waiting on. It just depends on the thing. I could do either. I could do either or. Cause there's some things like there's some like anime. There's some anime where I'm like, nope, gotta finish it. Can't wait. It's just too good. Then there's some like, oh, that was good.
I will binge the crap out of the anime. I will say that. I will.
Yeah. We were watching this anime called Sword Art Online. We both were watching it at the exact same time. He finished not only that season, he finished all of it, and I was just like, well, okay. And he's like, I couldn't wait. I had to know why he didn't have that sword or why this and that. And I
started watching it, and it was the English dub, and I got through that, and I'm like, what's next? Like they were taking too long to put it out in English dub. I need to know next. So I went and watched the English subtitles and finished it at, and then I'm like, I need to know what's next. Then I went and read the manga. So like that's what I do. Like I'll binge like until the English American version is like at their limit. I'm like, well, I need to know more, so I'll go and I'll and I'm like, yeah. So don't judge me.
So Hammer, what are you? Do you binge, or are you a regular guy? What you do?
It depends on the show. I'll binge sometimes. Just depending. Like I can tell you right now. What is something that I'm trying to think of something recent that I've binged.
You can't think of nothing, sir. Yeah.
Recently, no, but I do know. Like even on some stuff that is rewatch, like I ended up binging that once it was rewatchable. Like I can tell you right, like Heroes, whenever it hit Netflix way back, I had watched all the Heroes. I had seen it, and it didn't even matter. But bruh, I couldn't help it. I even though I knew what was going on, I had to watch it. And I think I sat like on a Saturday one time. I didn't move. I sat right there on the couch. And as far as I went was like to the bathroom, to the kitchen, and back right there.
Yep.
And I watched all the Heroes. And then I got done with that. Then there was a few other shows. Like it all depends on me. If like I'm kind of the type, if I really get into it, kind of like Snake was saying, if I really get into it, and I have to know, I'll binge it.
Yeah.
Some
okay,
stuff, so do 3 episodes and then wait till the next day and then watch 2 episodes.
Yep. All right, so for everybody out there who binges, because I know a lot of people do it, this to give you some helpful tips. This is Mingo-Dee's helpful tips. This can even work if you want to watch hour long, like 3, 4 hour, 5 hour movies or whatever, or if you are getting your Red Bull, your Mountain Dew and your chips, and you about to play some games forever. Make sure that every hour you could probably push it to 2. You stop, you stretch, reach out there, you know what I'm saying? You connect with reality just a little bit. Even if you gotta look at your phone and say, hey, wife, homeboy, whatever, connect with reality just so you won't be like, what day is it? What time is it? Is it open the window and make sure it's daytime or nighttime? You gotta do that and then go back.
Like
all that. Try to keep people healthy.
You're binging. You're trying to get away from reality. Like I don't want nothing to do with reality. Like, why do you think I'm watching anime?
I gotta agree with Tyler. You know what? I get my exercise when I get up and go to the bathroom, bro. Because I gotta walk. I get up, walk over there.
You gotta.
I can stretch. I can stretch on the way.
I'm watching my show. I don't need reality at that point.
I can stretch on the way to the bathroom. I can stretch on the way back in the bathroom.
No,
jumping jack before I sit down. Yeah,
these are bad tips, people. These are bad tips.
Greatest tips ever. Like
you only gotta move around for a little bit. You ain't gotta be up for an hour long.
This will get you through your binging.
And if you're playing video games, if your leg cramps, it's okay to pause the game. It's okay to say, look, and you gotta get that cramp out.
If you're playing online, you can
with you. Like you just stand up. Like it's fine.
Just stand up. When stuff like that happens, it's okay to pause the game. I know it's like I can't pause it right now. Or if you can't pause it because you're online on a mission, rely on your team. It's okay to rely on your team. It's okay to say, you know what, they're gonna shoot and you.
It's not okay to rely on your team.
Whoa, my bad. I think I hit a moment.
You get a little subject.
No, that's if
Mingo can't really speak on teams because he don't play with teams.
Okay, at first. I played with teams before. I have. That's how I know
Long
what I'm
time
talking
ago.
about.
Before online.
I know what online is. I played online before, and I've done it. I have.
How long ago?
We're not gonna talk about relying on teams because that's a whole nother rant. I've already went on that rant.
It's fine.
You can't always rely on your teammates, because you might be in the middle of a gunfight and they're just looting.
Oh,
Go ahead and say it. You damn right I was looting.
Yeah. Looting while we're getting shot at. We need help. Ooh,
that's funny.
Don't let them lie to y'all.
We brought this up almost
They were killing
every
show. So I'm like, ooh, piece of candy.
No, exactly. Ooh, piece of candy. He was that dude. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
But did you die? No.
Not the point.
It is the point. You didn't die.
Anyway, Mingo, take over your show. I'm not doing this.
Well, all right, guys. So, yeah, but that's pretty much it. That's the whole thing. Carnage, amazing. Joss Wheaton, not so. And those are the shows that I think you should watch. Go watch Jupiter Legacy. Both of these are on Netflix. I believe the majority of U.S. and our international fans out there, I see you, international fan. Thank you for tuning in. I hope. Yeah. But yeah, I think everybody technically has Netflix or a way to get Netflix or whatever. It's not like Disney Plus where it's like maybe not. Or right. Amazon Prime, you might have that too, but I haven't chose anything from Amazon Prime. So watch those shows, and check us next time for Primetime Live. But don't forget to check out some of our other content. Go to our Facebook page and look. We have all our videos there. If you're a Facebook person, go there. If you're an Instagram person, go use your Instagram to go to Facebook or to go to YouTube because we have a YouTube page. And get nerdy with us on our YouTube page and look at some of our videos there. Subscribe. Tell us what you would like for us to talk about on our shows. The Get Down is on Wednesdays. Nerdmation on Fridays. Tell us what you want. You can also catch the replay videos and stuff the following days. So tell us what you want.
Adele wanted to say how about Without Remorse? Have you watched that yet?
Oh, you know what? I talked about some of the reviews, but I have not watched it. I hear it's good. I hear as far as I know it's Tom Clancy, and I know that he's ex-military, and I know it's based off of that whole thing. I need to watch it so I can give my full review. But as far as reviews are concerned, everybody likes it. It looks good, and it's Michael B. Jordan. So I mean, you can't. Michael B. Jordan right now is, and I'm saying it, he's the new Denzel. Yeah, he's a new Denzel because what he's doing right now is amazing. He has his acting chops is good. His action, what he does with action is good. So I'm gonna say it. That's where he is at the moment. See, if people, I thought Jamie was gonna be it, but Jamie didn't. His action movies didn't really stick. Everything else he did was really good, but his action movies didn't stick. So Michael B. Jordan is, to me, the new Denzel. He has a little bit of both. He can do this, he can do that. So give it that, And then Will Smith, I mean, you said no to the Matrix, so, bruh. I mean, so we're gonna let that,
She said he's Denzel-ish.
Ish. Well, I mean, it's gonna take a minute for him to be Denzel, but you know how that goes. But yeah, so catch us next time, and we will holler at you guys later. Mingo-Dee, Snake, Hammer, Primetime Live. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
All right, guys, as you can see, I had a blast doing that. But the question is, did you have a blast? Did you enjoy it? Well, if you did or didn't, why don't you go ahead and put something in the comment section letting me know how you felt about it. And go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and that bell notification. And while you're at it, go ahead and check out our other videos, The Get Down and Nerdmation. They should be right here. Alright guys, this has been Primetime Live. I'll catch you next time.
Talk